Guys, these are the 9 things that I did to stop wasting my evenings after work. For me, I have a full-time job, and so I like doing these things after my full-time job. So I want you to pay attention to number 7. I hardly ever talk about number 7 on this channel anymore, but it was a big piece of building my wealth. It's a big piece of my net worth right now. So stay tuned for number 7. So number 1, the first thing I did in my free time after work in my evenings was I educated myself. When I say educated myself, I mean I dedicated time to reading books, to reading articles, to watching YouTube channels, listening to the podcast, and all these things about personal finances, about side hustles, about investing, about businesses. I use the time to educate myself. Now, for some of you, it might look like certifications, it might look like college, it might look like a lot of different things, right? For me, I just want to make sure that when I spent my time after work, I was gaining some new knowledge and some new information and some new education that was going to propel me and help me. And for me, it was about various different areas. It wasn't one particular thing that I educated myself on. It was whatever I was working on at the time to better myself or to better my financial situation, getting more and more education, getting more and more learning. Now, one of the things you're going to notice throughout this video is that I took my time very, very, very seriously. As I was beginning to say, okay, how can I build wealth? How can I make more money? How can I grow my investments? Whatever it was, I had to make sure that my time was focused. It's the one thing we can't get back, right? We can get more money, we can get more this and that, we can get friends and all that, but we can't get more time back. So the time was huge. So you'll notice that theme throughout this whole video. Now, the second thing I did in the evenings after work was I used that time to really build up my side hustles. So in other words, if I had skills from another job or I had some type of natural God-given talent and skill, I would use that time after work. And for me, it was 5P to 9P. I would use that time to really get focused in on building this side hustle. That's how I built my eBay business. That's how I built my real estate business as a landlord. That's how I built my voiceover business. That's how I built this YouTube business, and including my one-on-one financial mentoring and coaching and writing my 2 books. Everything I did to build up my side hustles was not done during 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 in the daytime. It was done in the evenings because I still have a full-time job. Right now, it's about to be dark, right? But I'm using this time after work to work on making this video, right? It's building my side hustle. And don't get me wrong, I work when I'm at work, right? I haven't been fired from a job for probably 25, 26 years since I've been fired from a job, right? So I always work hard at my current job. That's really important because that's about integrity, right? When you're at work, do work. But after work, it's all me. It's all my time. And that's when I can go to work on my work, right? So 9 to 5 is my job. 5 to 9 after work in the evenings is my real work that helped get me to another level in terms of personal finances. Now, the third thing I did after work in the evenings is I invested my time in making sure that in that time I was getting these higher paying skills. Through educating myself and through working on side hustles, whether it was voiceover coaching or it was working on building my website or my communication or my social media skills and understanding what's needed on various platforms, right? What you post on LinkedIn cannot be the same thing necessarily that you post all the time on Facebook or that you put in the community tab on YouTube, right? Sometimes you have to learn how to tailor what you're posting that's helping you market and advertise your business for different platforms. So I was learning these skills along the way, right? As well as the skill of learning to help listen to people and help solve people's problems and be a problem solver to help other people out. That was huge, right? But these are all skills that I had to hone after work in the evenings. When it's 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, I had to be working on these valuable skills that are higher paying skills, or at least going to help me make more money. So for example, something as simple as editing a video, right? On YouTube, when I first started off on YouTube and I tried to edit a video, it would take me like 6, 7 hours, literally, to edit a 10 or 15 minute video. It took a long time, right? But I just kept working it, kept doing it. Now it might take me an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours to edit a 15-minute video on YouTube. That's a skill that I worked on, and working on that skill helped me do more videos, which helped me make more money doing videos, right? But I had to put in the time to hone that skill that was going to lead to making more money on YouTube. Now, the fourth thing I did after hours, in the evening hours, is budgeting and reviewing my personal finances. In other words, perfecting my money management skills after hours, right? In the evening, when work was done, going home, looking at the budget, looking at the net worth statement, understanding how could I add assets, understand how could I reduce debt, right? Or reduce the liability side of my net worth equation. So it was about reviewing and tracking my spending, regularly updating that budget, planning for future expenses, making sure I had it written down on a piece of paper and a spreadsheet, and just learning the tools necessary to be a better manager of my money. That was huge, right? I used that time, instead of like Netflixing and chilling and watching TV and all that, I perfected the skill of managing money and disciplining myself around managing money. I got to admit it. Look, I'd rather review my budget than watch a TV show. Now, don't get me wrong. I watch a little bit of TV, but it's really going to be old TV shows, or I might watch some sports, right? Some college football, some college basketball, some NBA, whatever it could be. Look, I watch a little bit of TV, but I don't sit and watch TV. When I'm watching TV, I'm working. When I'm watching TV, I'm creating something. When I'm watching TV, I'm producing a thumbnail. When I'm watching TV or listening to TV in the background, I'm doing something productive in that evening. And a lot of times it's money related. Now, the fifth thing I did was I networked strategically, right? So when I started to learn about real estate, one of the first things I did was I joined the local landlord association, or I joined the local real estate association. I used the time after work in the evenings to mill around, talk to, converse with, hang around other people that were at where I want to be, or going where I want to go. Similar, like-minded people. I used the time to network with these people. So when it was voiceovers, I used that time to get around and deal with the voiceover community. After hours, I couldn't do it at my job. So what time is left? 5 to 9, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., right? But I had to get around people that were doing it. So I built the relationships with people that could lead to mentors and partnerships and just growing in that space. Now, the sixth thing was in that 5 to 9 period after work, right? Instead of wasting time, I went out and I started to learn how to grow my investments. In other words, research, investing, stocks, bonds, how to read and evaluate index funds and ETFs, right? And other investment opportunities, how to understand REITs, how to research various individual stocks. How about the technology sector? How about what's going on with Palantir? What's going on with Bitcoin? What's going on with the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500? Learning all of this information about investments, right? What's happening with my TSP, right? C fund, S fund, I fund, F fund, G, what is all that? What does it mean? So I spent time doing the research on investing, understanding how to invest, understanding the stock market, right? And understanding real estate, right, as an investment. So instead of wasting my time after work, I spent time on investments. Now, speaking of investments, number 7 is huge. The seventh thing I did, and this was really big from the year 2000 to the year 2008, 7 or 8, was I spent that time after work understanding the real estate game, canvassing neighborhoods for vacated properties, talking to owners, locating motivated sellers, right? Everything that I had to do in terms of real estate. Now, I don't talk about real estate as much as I used to on this channel, but I use real estate as a really big viable piece to building my wealth. So it was after hours, in the evenings, after work, that I would, drive neighborhoods, research addresses, really go in on screening my tenants, doing the maintenance and repairs that was necessary, or at least setting up maintenance and repairs on my properties for the larger repairs that I didn't do myself. It was all about that time after work that was huge, right? Back then, from 2000 to 2007 to 2008, I was in the office every day. But that was the time that I was really building up my real estate, and I was spending time after work focused on it. Now, the 8th thing that I did to stop wasting my evenings after work that helped me build wealth and reach my financial freedom was taking care of my physical being, right? My physical body, right? Making sure that if it was meal prepping, if it was eating healthy, exercising and working out. See, I don't typically work out in the mornings. All right. I don't think I've worked out in the mornings more than 3 or 4 times in my life, but I've worked out in the evenings, right? So that's when I work out and I do something physical, whether it's playing basketball or it's lifting weights, doing some calisthenics, it's walking, whatever it could be. Now, during my lunch break, when I used to go into the office, I used to take walks over lunch. But for the most part, my evenings is when I have to work out, to exercise, to walk, to do whatever I want to do in terms of physically taking care of my physical well-being. Look, a 20-minute workout is better than nothing. Don't sleep on those quick 20-minute workouts, because if you focus and you minimize the rest between sets or whatever you're doing, you can get a lot done in 20 minutes, even if that's all you have to do at 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night or whenever you get off work and you have the time to squeeze in, right? And I know this is a lot of stuff that I'm giving you, and it's hard to do it all from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. But the thing you want to do is just take away the bits and pieces of what I'm talking about and see how they fit in your life. Now, the 9th thing is simply this. 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. has always been a good time to reflect and plan, right? Whether it's spending time going over what you did, checking out your daily routine and habits or whatever you have in terms of your agenda for the day, reflecting on your financial goals, reflecting on your progress, reflecting on the things that I have to do better, the things that I did right, the things that I did wrong, and just using this time to plan. Even if it's just as simple as planning the next day's task, right? What did I not accomplish today, but I want to accomplish tomorrow? I will be working on and thinking about that from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. or up until 10 p.m. or later, right? That's what I've done over the years, guys. The 9 things that I did to stop wasting time. It wasn't fancy. I didn't win the lottery. I didn't use my credit card, and I didn't leverage a bunch of this, that, and the other. I didn't buy a big old gigantic building. I didn't get an inheritance from anything. I just spent the time as wise as I could. Yeah, I got to admit, some people ask me, look, man, do you ever have time for fun? Do you ever have time to relax? Well, here's the kicker. Everybody's relaxation is different. For me, working on some of the things that I talked about right here in this video, that's relaxing to me. Working on my future, that's relaxing to me. Whereas some people might want to go to the basketball game and then to the concert, I get perfect satisfaction by working on what I want to work on. And I've had people that ask me, dude, you got to get away. You got to do this. You got to do that, right? My kids, right? They say, you got to enjoy yourself. You don't have fun. You don't. And I'm saying, maybe I'm having fun with what I'm doing. You should not make a judgment on whether or not somebody else is having fun based on your own lens. Because what's fun to you is not fun to me. And what's fun to me may not be fun to you, right? And some of you might work the graveyard shift and some of you might work the second shift. You got to find the time that's right for you to do those things, right? So, hey, I hope you got value out of this quick video. Do me a favor, smash that like button for me, drop a comment and let me know. Let me know what you do with your free time in your evenings, right? Instead of wasting your time, what's your routine? Let me know that in the comments below, and share this video with someone who you think could use it. And hey, if you want to know how to defy the odds and never be broke again, check out this video right here. And if you want to know why I believe that working 40 hours a week is a joke, check out this video right here. Until the next video, peace.